morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is our last English language arts meeting for the school year, and we're going to cover an array of items from the summer school trainings to the new incorporation of the writing ELA class that we're going to have. I appreciate everybody for signing in the morning, and if you can refer to our agenda, you can find it in your electronic devices or the paper one as well. You also have some reference material, which we'll be analyzing later. That material is also on Edmodo. It has been uploaded to Edmodo, so you can refer to it at a later time in your future positive learning communities for the upcoming school year. Comments, questions, or concerns regarding the Edmodo uploads? Was everybody able to access the agenda online?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Perfect. If you can see in the same folder, the agenda was uploaded for today, and we also have that reference material, which has been provided and we'll be analyzing further, which are the scores from our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students. Let's begin with the first item on the agenda, which is the summer reading assignment. Now, the summer reading assignments, as you're well aware, the students have already been provided with their reading material, thanks to Dr. Albright, our librarian, and Ms. Garcia, our reading department chair. We took the students to the library where they received a book at an academically acceptable level. If the students were in 6th grade, then they received the 6th grade material, and the same for 7th and 8th. I would like to thank Ms. Garcia and our librarian for providing students the opportunity of obtaining their reading material free of charge, and most importantly, at a challenging level in which they will be able to think critically over the summer and utilize the reading strategies that we have been showing the students all year long. The students were provided with information regarding their assignments, and we need to help by grading these materials in the beginning of the school year. In our last department meeting, we collaboratively decided on how to go about the grading procedure, and that we were going to hold this as a homework grade counting 25%. Now, it's important that the students have already been, that information has already been given to the students so that they can try their best on this summer assignment. Any questions or concerns regarding the reading assignment?
Yeah, on the reading assignments, I really thought it was a good idea that you could allow the students to choose a book from their level, but then they still have the option of choosing from a selection of something they really liked, something that appealed to their interest. Which is very important, because if you allow them to get something that appeals to them, they will build the love of passion, or the passion for reading, which is very difficult sometimes to be developed fully. So it was a good idea.
I absolutely agree with you, Mr. Lopez. It was an excellent idea to let the students choose their reading assignment book, as opposed to previous occasions where the students were given a mandated curriculum or a mandated book they had to read. So it was excellent that Ms. Garcia and the librarian worked together to be able to provide the students with a wide array of books to choose from. In the past, as you can remember, we had very bad turnout rates for the homework. Students were not doing the reading. They didn't particularly enjoy the books. And this time, hopefully, we have a different turnout. And we, of course, will see that when the school year starts and we look over at the homework. I want to thank everybody for getting together and building on this information to provide students with this opportunity. So now, moving on to the second bullet on our agenda. Now, the information that you have all been anticipating is the state testing results and campus accountability. If you refer to the purple colored sheet, or in your case, it's the white colored sheet, these are the scores of our campus and all the other campuses here at La Jolla ISD. Now, this is tentative and subject to change because of the second administration results. However, if you analyze the data, we can see some of the numbers based on the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade reading results. I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
Can I share something?
Absolutely.
I'm shocked that our campus is in 5th position as far as ranking. I just thought we were doing everything by the book, and the results are devastating.
Mr. Odesta, I can definitely understand your frustration and concern regarding the ranking. But keep in mind that this summer we're going to be working together to close any curriculum gaps and determine a trend in student success. Also, we need to consider that demographically our area is more economically disadvantaged than most campuses, and we also have a wider range of English language learners or the special ed population. As teachers, we're doing our best to promote student achievement in the state assessments. And we don't have a lack of work and intensity. That's not the problem. There are a variety of issues that make up campus accountability. And as long as we know as teachers that we're receiving professional development and attending our positive learning communities weekly to ensure alignment in our grade level, we are working successfully towards student success and our campus vision. A shared educational experiences for all students, valuing the community equally. In addition to working together weekly in our grade levels, this year we are going to start to meet every 6 weeks in our planning and sharing meetings, where our English language arts and reading coordinator is going to present valuable information and analyze our 6 weeks data from the results. In these upcoming meetings, we're not only going to be able to share with our own campus, but learn from other campuses as well. So for example, starting in August, I believe our school is going to be the first one to present. We're going to present strategies that have worked for us. Every other month, other campuses will take turns so that all 8 middle schools are able to share what has worked for them. And in the case of the Zavala Middle School, which was #1 in the district, with 73% in 8th grade, 65% in 7th grade, and 67% in 6th grade. They were the highest in our campus, and we're going to be able to share and see what's working for them that can benefit us. Like Mr. Desi said, we are in 5th position. Let us analyze the data a moment and see how we decreased slightly, 2 points, 8 points in 7th grade, 2 points in 6th grade. Overall, however, if we look at the combined data, we have, of course, we're in the 5th position. We declined by -5 points, and the top school, which is Zavala Middle School, incremented by 2%. So it would be excellent to find out what they're doing and how we can incorporate it here as well. So this is the data that we received, and of course, our second administration is going to change that, and we did excellent thanks to our second administration, the Reading Intervention Academy. I want to thank the reading teachers that were there and made a part of it, and it was a great success for the students. Out of the 90 students that didn't pass the first time around, about 40% of those students passed. So I want to recognize all the reading teachers that were there for the kids, and out of those 40 students that passed, about 3 of them got commended, so that was excellent from not having passed the first time around. So the second administration, we did very well. Okay, moving on, now that we've analyzed the data, let's look at the Reading and Writing Connection course. Now, we are skipping on the EMT resource guide because we already covered that.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. You've been talking about covering those gaps on certain issues on academic situations. Now, here's a situation. There's students that can't write 7th grade level. I mean, this is ridiculous. It can even complete a simple sentence. Grammar, it's horrible. How are you supposed to correct this? I mean, these kids need to go back to elementary, 2nd grade, perhaps. How are we gonna fix this? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, me as a 7th grade teacher is completely frustrating.
I understand, and unfortunately, right now the issue is being addressed at the high school. Right now we can deal with the 7th grade, but as far as the high school, they're dealing with the same decisions. What's happening is that in 9th grade, students are not performing up to standards, actually way below standards, and they saw a trend that...
I mean, sorry, but what are we doing to fix this situation?
We're going to be working collaboratively. I think this summer, Ms. Garcia and I are going to meet with our ELR coordinator to ensure that there's alignment between elementary level teachers and middle school teachers. And as far as high school, well, they're seeing the problem and they want to do something about it, which is why they have implemented this new writing position for teachers in 8th grade. But I understand, what are we doing for 7th grade when the kids can't write a simple sentence? Obviously, they're concerned about high school. We're concerned about middle school. We're going to speak to the ELR coordinator and see if we can do some sessions this summer so we can plan with the elementary level teachers and make sure that the alignment is there so that when we get students in 7th grade, they're not so far behind that we have to go and teach how to write a simple sentence. And that way when they get to 8th grade with the new writing teachers, they will be able to focus on the open-ended questions that are going to be given to them in 9th grade. But right now the issue should be writing across all grades, but right now they're seeing the trend in 9th grade scores and how they're declining and how they haven't improved at all. So that is why our district decided to open up these positions in 8th grade for a writing teacher. These writing teachers are going to be working in collaboration with the reading teachers. Now these writing teachers, the students are going to be receiving 2 courses now. They're going to be receiving a reading class and a writing class. And the good thing about it is that the teachers are going to be working together to make sure that there is alignment between the two. So if Ms. Garcia is the 8th grade reading teacher and she's going to be teaching inferencing, and Mr. Oresti is the writing teacher in 8th grade, they're going to collaborate every week and make sure that the students are learning the same content, but that they're practicing it in reading and then practicing it in writing as well. So hopefully by the time they get to 9th grade, they have practice with the open-ended questions. And as far as 7th grade, we'll let you know, sir, we're going to be emailing everybody through Edmodo and sending emails as far as the results of our summer meeting with our ELR department chair, because it is very important. I was a 7th grade writing teacher myself last year, and I saw that the pressure on us was intense because the students were not writing in 6th grade. They're only writing where they're tested, unfortunately, and that should not be the case. So it's something to address and something that we need to make sure gets taken care of so that we're able to work with those 7th grade students and that they're able to write, because by the time they get to 9th grade, it's not just about a simple sentence, compound sentence. They need to think critically and be able to answer open-ended questions. So that's very important. Any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the new positions available for 8th grade? All the students will be taking 2 courses, and that'll be the case in all the middle schools here in La Jolla. They will be taking the writing and the reading to prepare them for high school. Now, moving on in our agenda, we already discussed the connection course, the reading and writing connection course. Now, the open response questions, those are the ones that students are having difficulty answering in 9th grade. And of course, they're having difficulty because, like you said, sir, there is no basic grammar structure. They don't know how to write. So if they don't know how to write, therefore, they're not going to be able to respond to those open-ended questions, especially at a critical level that they're having them do in 9th grade, which is why the scores for their STAR administrations is, it's not very pleasing to see. So we're going to be working on that. Later on, during the summer, we're going to have a workshop over the H strategy, which a lot of you are familiar with. If you consult your purple paper, or it's also on the electronic one, 8 is a strategy that Ms. Garcia has taught us before, and we use this, and the high school uses this in alignment to answer open-ended questions. So the 8 strategy, what happens when you use the 8 strategy for open-ended students is that they are able to answer the question. They're going to answer the question with part of the question. They're going to rephrase it. Of course, it's very important that they remember that the P stands for proof from the text. Textual evidence, which we're already teaching in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. This is another form of having the students provide that textual evidence in a written format for the open-ended questions. For example, the students could say, the picture showed that, or using information from the text, I know that. Evidence to support this idea is in the text, the author wrote, on page it is said. Now the E, the extend or make an opinion or connection and make a summary statement is how they're going to end the open-ended question response. And this can be by saying, I thought this because, I think such and such happened because, I think the author was trying to tell us one reason I think this is, I also think, I know this because. Now, the students are not only going to be giving us their opinion, but they're going to be backing up that opinion with evidence from the story that they read. So we need to teach the students these sentence stems so that they're able to use them in 9th grade. And they can also use them in 7th grade right now. Now, it's important that the students make a connection to the text, to the world, or to themselves. In the summary statement, that is the why and that is the my. These are the reasons why. Students can explain what it is that they're writing by providing evidence and giving reasons. So that is the 8th strategy. If you look at the 2nd and 3rd page on the 8th, it's just a further explanation of how to answer the open-ended questions. And again, this can help us even if we're not directly going to teach the 8th grade writing course, because as you know, our campus is working on the TAIA's writing plan first period. So in addition to having the students read for pleasure during Accelerated Reader, we can also practice this. Maybe we can meet later and discuss collaboratively how we can implement this and how we can use it maybe one day out of the week in order for the students to practice in 6th, 7th, and in 8th grade so that they're ready when they go to 8th grade how to use the 8th strategy and that they can use it in 9th grade as well. So maybe we can practice on Fridays going over what the students have read and answering critical thinking questions. And here is an outline. It's also on Edmodo online. And Ms. Garcia is going to provide a training this summer to extensively explain the APE strategy for those of us that are not familiar with it. This is the first year that I am familiar with the strategy. I would like to learn more about it. It seems very, very important for the students. And I think it's really going to help them support their answer and write critically without just writing about their opinions, without any subject, without any evidence. So this is the APE strategy, and as you can see in the backs, there's the written response questions. It explains to the students exactly what they need in those 10 lines that they need to write. In 7th grade, the students are restricted with 26 lines, and in 9th grade, the open-ended questions are restricted to about 10 lines. So it's important that the students' content is there and that there's textual evidence to support their writing. So that was the APE strategy. Again, we'll keep you up to date, Edmodo and via email this summer, as far as the summer training that Ms. Garcia is going to be conducting on the 8 open-ended questions. And looking into that, we're looking at the summer training. That's the next bullet in our agenda. Summer training, if you look at one of the papers that is there also on Edmodo, it offers you a variety of summer trainings that are going to be available for us to attend for our TEP hours. If you look at our summer trainings, we have the ELA Share Fair, July 28th through the 29th, and you can sign up on ERO. That's the serial number there, the course number. Now, in addition to these trainings, keep in mind we have a pending training that we're going to address with our ELA coordinator to align the elementary writing. ELA coordinating writing.
The following teachers please report to the front office. Ms. Claudia Gomez, Mr. Oresti, Victoria Gomez, Araceli Garcia, Luis Flores, and Denise Perez.
Okay, continuing, the ELA coordinator that we're going to speak with over the summer is going to provide us with an opportunity to share our concerns regarding what we're seeing in 7th grade, and we're going to have that writing connection also as a summer training. We have the revising and editing strategies for the STAR with Gretchen Burnaby. There's the ERO and the serial number so you can register on ERO. We also have another session, which is a part 2 of unpacking the standards, which is going to be for 8th grade on ERO. Sign up there if you're interested. And we have techniques for effective academic instruction for middle school. Any PSYOP training will also be beneficial as well as any technology trainings that you can find on our Region 1 website. Now, the future summer trainings that are going to be added on here will be disseminated to you this summer. Make sure you keep up with it and that we sign up and we're able to learn so that we're able to successfully lead the students to better scores and overall better learning when the school year resumes. Okay, that was the summer training. Our urgent intervention folders were due to Ms. Garcia last week, so if you haven't done that, please turn them in. On Edmodo, if we look at Edmodo right now, you can sign on. There's a survey that everybody can take over our reading alignment and how everything has been worked out this year. So if you take a couple of moments to answer the questions, they're open-ended questions. Feel free to write your comments or concerns on your Edmodo survey and submit it. Ms. Garcia is going to receive this electronically. Based on the data that you have provided us, we're going to be able to analyze this and see how we can better help you next year. So go ahead and take a couple of moments to answer your survey, and I'll walk around and see if we need any help with the survey. Thanks for technology, there is no need for a paper survey anymore. We can do everything online on Edmodo, so once you send that right away, Ms. Garcia is going to be able to get the results, and we're going to be able to look at these results. Do you have any questions regarding the survey? take a couple more minutes to finish your survey. And the concern was brought up with the score, so we're gonna go back to the chart when you finish your survey. I think most of us have finished with the survey. If not, take a couple more minutes to answer your survey. Now we're gonna refer back to the data because this is gonna lead to our EMT resource guide, which I know we already spoke about. The resource guide is gonna be provided to us based on the data this summer, in addition to the trainings that we have. The ELA department coordinator is gonna be meeting with Ms. Garcia to plan an EMT resource guide, similar to what we have with the pacing charts in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Now we're gonna have a mandated curriculum for EMT. Now, in addition, before we used to find resources to try to correlate with what was going on in the classroom in our EMT resource class. Now we're gonna have a curriculum that's gonna be mandated, and it's gonna be much easier for us. We can use our parent volunteers to run the copies for us. And Ms. Garcia was just sharing with me a couple of days ago that in this resource guide that the coordinator is gonna be able to upload to Edmodo soon, we're gonna have the EMT contents by genre. So there we can see what the students are gonna be learning that particular week. And not just that, we're gonna be able to look at the resources, click on the resource, and it's gonna take us to an external website that's gonna provide us with the information. Now, we are no longer gonna be able to need to write the lesson plan and integrate EMT on there, whatever you're doing. Thanks to this curriculum that our department is gonna be putting together, now we're gonna have a separate lesson plan that they're gonna be providing for us. So there will be no need to stress over what am I gonna do with my EMT resource students when I'm already teaching inferencing? How am I gonna help those students? Because now our district is gonna have that for us. So we will eliminate the need for a second lesson plan on EMT. Now it's already there. All we have to do is just make sure that it's aligned and that of course we work together with the other teachers so that we can see how we can use some of the PSYOP strategies, any of the strategies that we've learned overall to help our at-risk students, which are the ones we see in our EMT. I was mentioning that Ms. Garcia has enabled a technology function in these resource guide that we're gonna have that is gonna enable us to click on the hyperlink and it's gonna send us to the resource so that we're able to print the documents, we're able to print whatever we need for the students, give it to our parent volunteers, and they will be able to run the copies for us, not only for the EMT, but also for the regular 6th, 7th, and 8th grade curriculum. That hyperlink is something new that's gonna be attached this year, and from there we can base our decisions to what we're gonna be doing in the classroom. Of course, all 6th grade teachers will be doing the same. There will be alignment in 6th, 7th, and 8th, and the only addition is gonna be that link, and it's gonna be the 8th strategy that we're gonna be implementing in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in our writing course, which is in 1st period. We're gonna continue with the writing course in 1st period, except that now we're gonna later collaborate to think of when would be an appropriate day to do the 8th strategy we discussed. And of course, if we can all attend Ms. Garcia's summer training on the 8th, we will be more familiar with it and be able to collaboratively come up with when we're gonna be able to use the 8th strategy. So the students cannot just be reading for the sake of reading or read their book upside down, but they can actually think critically about what they're reading. So that's gonna be something new the upcoming school year, the EMT resource guide. Any questions in our meeting? Ms. Garcia, would you like to add something?
Just
Other
to
departments?
let you know that we provided copies for you for the EMT plan that Ms. Garcia was talking about. The booklet is here and it has also been uploaded to Edmodo.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. On that booklet that you see, it's the redesign our instruction for next year. So what we're planning to do over the summer, we are going to be analyzing the data where we are going to have the ELA teachers in 7th grade spending more time with the kids that have the problem that you were saying, Mr. Cantu, with the grammar and the composition, the revising and editing basically. So for next year, we're planning to have the 7th grade classes redesigned, where you are going to have these kids, based on data, you're gonna see these kids first and second period, then third and fourth, you're gonna have your GT classes, then 5th period and advisory, you're gonna see your lowest second class. And all of these schedule changes, like Ms. Garcia was saying, are gonna be based on data. Ms. Garcia is gonna go over the grammar, the data, like, it is important here to see how we're gonna be able to get ideas from other schools. And in one of the meetings, we were saying that we needed to be more united. We needed to see what was going on in other campuses, because all of our kids are from La Joya LC. We are a big family, we're a big team. So we need to know what Zavala is doing. We need to know what Memorial Middle School is doing. And we need to look at the population of kids that we have. We have very similar population of kids. Memorial and us, almost the same population. So what is it that they're doing that is working? Or what is it that we are doing that is working, like you were saying? What is it that Zavala is doing that is working for them? And these are the meetings that we're planning to have over the summer and bring ideas to the table.
I think it's excellent that our district has decided to implement this. I come from a district where we have done this in the past before. So we get together, all the middle schools get together, which is what I was explaining to you earlier. Every 6 weeks we get together, and actually the first hosting school is gonna be our school, Irene Garcia, it's gonna be here. So all the middle school ELA teachers are gonna get together at Irene Garcia. Ms. Garcia, along with all the other reading teachers, are gonna prepare something so that we can share, so that what has worked with us, maybe we can present the APE strategy along with other strategies Ms. Garcia has shared with us, and so on and so forth. The second 6 weeks, we're gonna take turns, and then eventually we're gonna go to the Zavala, and I'm sure that they're gonna provide us with a lot of insightful information on what they have done for their students. So these meetings are something to look forward to. They will be every 6 weeks, in which we're gonna be able to see the assessments, we're gonna be able to make any corrections to the assessments, and more importantly, we're gonna be learning, cooperative learning with each other so that we can learn from each other.
Going back to the EMT plan, everything is gonna be done for you. Like Ms. Garcia was saying, thanks to technology, the document that you're gonna be receiving next year is gonna be hyperlinked. So let's say that for the first 6 weeks with our EMT classes, we're gonna be targeting poetry. So you're gonna have all of the resources that we have available from the district that target poetry. So all you have to do, go to the document, click, and that link is gonna send you straight to the lesson that you're gonna be using for that specific genre. So we don't want you to see these extra lesson plans, extra work that you have to do. As we've been saying all of these meetings, something that we as teachers complain the most is paperwork, because they take away our time for teaching. So that's another thing that we as department heads are meeting about. How can we eliminate paperwork for teachers? Because we want the 100% of the time you worry about your teaching, not the paperwork. And this is one of the things that we came up, that where you are gonna be just clicking, everything is gonna be there in a pen drive, and it is gonna eliminate a lot of the planning, a lot of the time that we invest on looking for resources. So all of the resources that we have available for you, that the district have provided us copies with, are gonna be there. You're gonna be a click away. Any questions about the EMT plan? And it is gonna be happening for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade reading, and 7th grade writing as well.
I think this year it has been excellent as far as technology integration. I mean, we've used Edmodo for virtually everything. We've gotten the need to use papers less and less. And I think the fact that we're going to be using the EMT resource guide along with our curriculum with that click away is just going to take us even closer to the technology demands, and of course integrated into the classroom. If we're able to see this in our curriculum and click to a resource then the students are gonna be able to see this information and they're gonna do it as well. I know Ms. Garcia uses a lot of technology and provides technology trainings to how the students can use their iPads, can use Edmodo, and the students can log on Edmodo and click on a particular link. Maybe they can click on the resource themselves, and that can provide us with not having to do the copies for them. They can just click on the resource. There's the worksheet. You can make annotations on the side, and you can answer the questions there as well. I know that a lot of us have already been using that, and if not, Ms. Garcia is going to offer various technology trainings for us this summer.
So,
Any other questions regarding our agenda?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if there are no other questions, then this concludes our meeting for English Language Arts Department. Keep in mind that all the information will be disseminated to you via email and an Edmodo as well this summer. Just be on track with signing up with our trainings this summer so that we can have our TEP hours, and of course,
Teachers, please submit your GT certificates to Ms. Sandra Sines in the front office. Thank you.
of course, it's very important, like I was saying, that we attend those trainings over the summer. And I think if you're not familiar with the APE strategy that we discussed, it's gonna be an excellent training along with the ELA Think Fair Share, I believe that's what it's called. I've never been to that one. This is the first summer here in this district. But I know that in that fair, a lot of the schools work together, and it basically is gonna be in alignment to what's gonna happen when the school year starts and this new integration that we're gonna have as far as hosting meetings for all the middle schools. So make sure you attend that. Any questions on summer training?
I just want to add for the ELA Share Fair, the good thing about this training is that every hour we're going to have different sessions. It's not like you're going to go and stay there for a whole training the entire day. We're going to have a catalog for you where you're going to be looking at the sessions that they're going to be offering, and you are going to be the one deciding what sessions you want to attend. They're going to be an hour long, an hour 30 minutes long, so you are going to be the one designing your schedule for those 2 days. I highly recommend Mr. Cantu the writing sessions. They're gonna be having the New Jersey writing teachers training us on writing strategies and grammar strategies that they're gonna have. It's gonna be 2 days, so that they're gonna have different sessions these 2 days. They're also gonna be offering as part of the ELA Share Fair. They're also gonna be having the Technology Share Fair, but the Technology Share Fair is only gonna be 1 day, and it's gonna be designed just the same, where they're gonna be having sessions every hour, different sessions every hour.
And I know that these sessions are also for elementary, so we're gonna be working in combination with the elementary teachers. All the reading department's gonna be together, elementary, middle school, high school, and that way we can see what the problems are, and so they can, in high school, so they can see that the problem is not in middle school, it's not in elementary, but it's a problem of disalignment, that everybody, it's not on the same page. So we'll look forward to that this summer. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.